Alright guys, I just arrived Chiang Mai. Oh, thank God, this guy stopped the traffic for me. And all of a sudden I'm in an AMG E53. Alright, we're surrounded by carbon fiber all around me. And that familiar Mercedes straight 6 sound. So I came here with TJ and but yeah, it's okay. I can see. Yeah, with TJ and Bing, Fan and Cass, and okay, there's traffic. Nice. So we came here to Recce for Evo Enduro 2020, and thank you so much to Mercedes-Benz Thailand for arranging these cars for us, and and then we have a very special group of owners. Think of first generation 911s, 964s, 930s, rough. Yep, they're together with us on this little recce. And it's a short flight actually, just 1.5 hours, and we're already here. And it's nice. It's always nice to be in Thailand. I always smile when I get into Thailand. I love Thailand so much. Alright, let's see. Alright, it's clear now. Ooh, a fast motorcycle. In no time for that. Alright, the journey from here is 1 hour and 20 minutes to our next destination, which I do not know how to read. And walkie-talkies are illegal in Thailand, but these are different. These are legal, as I was told. So I have no idea. Alright, maybe these run on LTE or something, not using the bandwidth. Anyway, yep, it's great to be here. Always great to be here. And all this hard work for what? To make sure Evo Enduro 2020 is bigger, better, crazier than 2019. That has always been the goal. As you all know, 2019 has been mad, fun, and 2020 will be even greater. Alright, I'm gonna continue with my drive, enjoy this car. It will be my first extended drive in this beautiful E53. Actually, to be honest, the E-Class cabin is just beautiful. It's a little bit too beautiful, you know, but it is beautiful. Holy moly! Mercedes truly knows how to deliver excitement. See, this is the kind of excitement. No doubt the M5 is faster, but I didn't even feel this way in the M5, you know. Yes, I've driven the E63, and the E63 is another few magnitudes crazier, but this is pure enjoyment. This is just nice. Look at the company that we have. You know, just now I was just in sports mode, and then I was like, ooh, what's that red thing? Sport Plus. And this is an E53. This is not even the E63, right? And then oh. Just listen to that! The firecrackers! Oh my, Mercedes, you know your stuff when it comes to putting a smile on people's face. No one does it crazier, madder than Mercedes-Benz. These guys are just hilarious, crazy, and fun. The kind of guy you want to hang out with when you're at a pub, alright? And Audi is a serious guy in the pub, just sitting there, you know, nodding his head, following the beats a little bit. Yeah. Just look at our company. Wow, this is a photo finish, man. Yep, that's our convoy today. So, look at these roads. Now we're heading to, of course, there are some midpoint stops, but our destination at Chiang Mai is Mae Hong Son. Okay, so yep, we're gonna be here for 4 days, and we're gonna do the Mae Hong Son loop and experience it, and then recce the place, check out the hotels to plan for Evo Enduro 2020. Yep. And I tell you, this E53 AMG, yes, it might not be as fast as its 63 sibling or even an M5, but I tell you, the enjoyment, the oral enjoyment of this car is just superb. I need to say that again. When it comes to AMGs, Mercedes is just on point. On point. Yeah. I spoke about the analogy just now. So, Mercedes, they are like the bad boys in the pubs, you know. They're like the guys that groove around and then go around getting others to you know, cheering people up, that type. Whereas BMW may be the guy who is on the dance floor doing all the crazy moves, you know, putting all his effort into dancing, and then Audi is the guy who sits at a corner and just drinking his beer, and yeah, that's roughly how they are. Oh, these roads, the sound! Oh, lovely, man. Driving is just, to me, driving, you know, looking at the scenery, the cars, the smell, the sound. Oh, look at that, the roads. This is just therapeutic to me. It's just therapeutic. And these roads are to die for, man. Okay, this car is a bit too big for these roads, but that is just brilliant. Bing will be like, I should have brought my MX-5. Oh, the photographers are here. Damn. The scenery. Oh, this is what enjoyment is. But of course, this car is a bit too big. You know, it's an E-Class, and it is slightly wider than one lane. You know, this car. And the other problem, which I've pointed out, is this whole generation of C and E-Class doesn't have a left foot rest. So I've been driving for about an hour, and I'm getting a little bit of back ache already, because you just can't have a settled down sitting position. That is a bit of a regret, but this is not a deal breaker, because the other things of this car just more than makes up for it, especially what Mercedes-Benz has always been good at, the drivetrain, the excitement, you know, and these guys are at the top of their form. 6-cylinder, inline 6-cylinder with a mild hybrid system, but to enhance performance instead of enhancing better fuel consumption. But mind you, fuel consumption isn't bad, you know. Even in the C43, anyone who has a C43 will be amazed by its fuel consumption. Now that is in perspective, where when you compare it to the 3-liter supercharged of Audis and all that, which I have, right? I have the N55 BMW single turbo engine and the Audi supercharged, and the C43 is very, very fuel efficient compared to that. And oh, when you have two E-classes, that's really tight. Oh, what beautiful roads. Okay, you wouldn't want to be here in an S-Class coupe, you know, or an Aventador or the likes of it, but in those classic Porsches, brilliant. Those cars are small, nimble, fantastic visibility, and they would enjoy these type of roads a lot more than modern cars. Yeah. Old cars, small, old roads, small, and they fit together perfectly. And look at TJ driving the C43 coupe. Is already he's always 2 wheels out of the lane because these roads are just super duper tight. Our cars cannot fit into our own lane. We are now at roads that are barely wide enough for one car, and they say this kind of roads are gonna continue for another 10 kilometers. Oh, this makes me wish I'm in those old Porsches. You know, they just look beautiful on roads like these, and they look on point as fuck. Lovely, looking at the way they gracefully turn. You know what? I gave up a trip to Rome, to Italy, to drive the new Ferrari, the new smallest, cheapest Ferrari, to come here to Thailand and mix with this group and to drive their old Porsches. I'm just so impressed with them. These kind of roads are not what you call roads, to be honest. Treacherous, if I may. But these guys ship their cars over here in order to drive on these roads. You know, there was just a little hump earlier on, and everybody slowed down, tried their best to take an angle over it. You know, it's about the experience. This is the true essence of driving, not just the high-speed bends, not just how many G-force you can pull. It's the experience of traversing places that you do not know together, and then go through it, and then cherish that moment when you went through it. You know, everybody is ready for tires to go bust, or some suspension arms to go wonky. You know, everybody's ready for that. Yeah, and you want to do it. You want to do it. I'm almost embarrassed to be driving such a modern, accomplished car and diminishing my chances of experiencing something that is challenging at 20 kilometers per hour, you know. I mean, those cars are worth millions, right? There is a first generation air-cooled Porsche turbo here. There is also a first generation 911 here, and they use them. They bring them to places. As long as the undercarriage can clear the obstacle, they go over it and deal with whatever things that may come later. Respect. They earn my utmost respect. Beauty with driving in Thailand is that you do not know when you run out of road and replaced by rocks. Oh, look at that amount of elevation. That's a camber turn right there. Oh, what joy. What better joy than to be able to drive in these sort of companion. It's such a joy to be behind those classic Porsches, looking at them gracefully carving the roads. And as if by rank of qualification for driving on these roads, the small little 911s are followed by that presumably fat looking Boxster over here, which itself is a small car, but in this company is big and fat. And then followed by a C-Class Coupe, and then this E53 AMG, and then the GLC 43 at the back there. I have to say, this E-Class, as big and as fat it is, it manages itself well. This is the thrill of driving. Whoa! This drop here. Damn! Oh, joy of joys. Bing would be wishing she had her MX-5 here with her beautiful roads. Just look at that. The bodywork. See, the back end of those old Porsches, they're literally facing the sky, given that the rake of that slope and the way sunshine just glimmers off the surface is just, makes me fall in love with these old Porsches. I mean, I've always read that they were special, but seeing them in this setting, these kind of tiny roads, lovely. And I know that C-Class in front of me has a much better view out of his windscreen. Yep, it's two-way traffic on these really tight roads. Oh dear, overtaking, that's the risky part. One motorcycle. I'm thoroughly enjoying this drivetrain and the chassis of this E-Class. The only complaint, again, especially apparent on these kind of roads, is the lack of a footrest. My left foot is now aching because it just doesn't have a proper place to pin itself, and that has affected a little bit of how I sit, because you need to use some of your hip muscles to make sure you stay at the right spot, you know, and that gives unnecessary strain, and I have a little bit of backache here, and then my left foot, yeah, that's the biggest complaint. Other than that, this car is perfect, but that is one of the big drawbacks if you were to ask why I've never picked the current generation C and E platform be it the lovely C63, 43s, or the E63, E53. I just cannot imagine having a long extended drive in cars like these without a left foot rest. That may seem like a small thing, and one thing that is entirely ignored when you test drive the car. But let me tell you this, on a long enjoyable drive like these windy bits, windy roads, sitting position is tantamount. It's just is important. What a beautiful view! Just look at it. Glorious! Oh, what a view. I've been following the C-Class and then oh, look at them go. The poise, the posture, the wide body. This has got to be one of my most enjoyable drive ever. This is just stunning. Oh, especially the different generations when they're not in one line, you get to see the differences in how basically it's the evolution of the 911, right? And it's just what a lovely sight. You know, those who own new ones, they were afraid of putting up miles into their cars. Those who bought supercars. And if you buy one of these, you don't care whether it's 300,000 miles or 400,000 miles, you know. The high mileage has become sort of like a battle scar that comes with the car. So you're buying a piece of history as well. And that makes it all the more unique. Lovely. And to be honest, accompanied by this soundtrack, yes, I know it may be engineered off from the speaker grills and mixture of the back crackles and all that, but it makes the drive all the more exciting. Right. Morning! Start of the second day, heading off from Puri Pai Villa, and we have an hour of journey to go from here to our next destination, and now we need to fill up the cars. Right, as you can see, this is a beautiful region in Mae Hong Son. This valley that we're in is called Pai. Yeah, the name is just Pai, and it sits in between these mountain ranges, and you can only reach here by going through the mountain roads of Mae Hong Son. So the really tight roads, these roads you can see, is about the width of one bang. All right, and this area is, oh, you see the fuel stop just now. This area is there's a river running in the middle of this valley, and it's in the northwest regions of Chiang Mai. So beyond the mountain ranges, it will already be Myanmar. And oh, I see the MG up front. It's just beautiful. And by year end, November to January, the temperatures around this region will drop to that of about 12 degrees Celsius, sometimes even 10. So it's a very cooling region. This morning we woke up to 20 degrees Celsius of weather. You know, it's just wonderful. And yeah. So let's see if I can overtake the C-Class and give you all a good view of that MG up front. Alright? Okay, let me show you guys this beautiful MG that came along. It's a 1955 MG Le Mans. Right? It has a small 1.6 liter engine, but it's one of the Le Mans winner as well. And it has no roof, and the dashboard was built just like that of a motorcycle dashboard. So technically it's weatherproof. It has no. The entire car doesn't have plastics because cars built in this era predates the creation of plastics. Yeah, just what joy this is. Look at the whole ensemble of classics in front of us. That little center hub, disc brakes with the spinners turning there. It's just what a sight, what a sight. And these guys, they don't buy their cars and keep them as garage queens. They really drive them. So there was a whole support crew together as well, just in case anything went wrong. There's also a camera crew and a cleaning crew. Joy of joys. Alright, I'll continue the video later and continue on with my work. So we're gonna refill up here. These Thai Mercedes, we can pump the 95 here, and the Mercs that are made here can also take gasohol if they need to. But these classic Porsches, they have to take the one with the yellow sign. That is the most premium fuel, something like that. So we're a little bit more lucky in Malaysia. We have 97, we have V-Power Racing, we have RON 100. Our fuel quality is actually slightly higher, and our fuel prices is way cheaper than that of Thailand. So for those Malaysians who are complaining about fuel prices, to be honest, come on, our average GDP per capita is actually higher than Thailand. That means we make more money than Thai people. But our fuel price is cheaper. So don't complain, huh? And guys, you see that cafe over there? It's called Cafe Amazon. If you ever come to Thailand to drive, almost every rest house will have them. I tell you, order their iced latte. It is the best iced latte I've ever had. Alright, it beats your Starbucks, it beats your coffee bean, it beats the rest. The best thing about this car is the power. And it drives well. You know what? I dare to extract performance in the E53 in a way that I don't really dare in the E63. The E63 to me is a little bit above my driving skills. Whereas this one to me is just about nice. Oh, uphill, not sure about visibility. And then of course the pops and crackles. It amazes you how much driving enjoyment comes from the sound, you know. We drove the GDC 4 Lusso T that day. I love that car solely because of its looks, its interior, its ideology. But I tell you, when you drive that car, that urge inside you in wondering, why am I in a V8 Ferrari that doesn't give me any sort of oral enjoyment? That urge in you is strong, and it overwhelms the driving experience slightly, because while you're driving it, you keep wondering, where is the sound? Where is the exhaust? What's going on? Where is the response that I can hear in relation to my foot? Because in a Mercedes-AMG, you can hear your feet moving, you see? And that is part of the enjoyment. That is the reason why people like to go top down or wind down their windows and listen to their Alfa Romeos or Ferraris or AMGs or Porsche singing. And yes, regardless of how Mercedes delivers that sound to me, it should be there, right? If not, aren't we supposed to be all in Camrys, comfortable and quiet, and call it a day off? Yeah. Oh, look at that. The different ways of how the engine just reacts to inputs is just really, really nice. It makes a straight road not boring. Yeah. Okay, we're coming up to those windy bits in a while. Of course, it's an E53 AMG. It's a big performance car. So on absolute winding roads, of course, some managements of weight would be needed, but nonetheless, you have great brakes, you have great tires, you have a great engine, and a comfortable interior. What more can one ask for, right? And look at the roads, the road conditions, the weather, the sky, the greenery. Wow. You know, when you are under this kind of weather, this kind of sunlight, right? It's dry, it's a little bit warm. You can rely on your tire squeals to gauge your grip levels. You know, there won't be much surprises as opposed to a damp, wet morning where you don't hear the sound from your tires and your car's already started to skid. And this is where your passengers will slowly begin feeling like throwing up after a while. Oh, joy of joys. It's just hilarious. You know, when you first bought a car, you want to go fast in it. You want to go drive. You want to explore how the handling feels like and all that. That's when you first bought a car. First month, second month, third month. After a while, oh, look at the beautiful trees. After a while, you start to get used to your car. You don't feel so excited anymore to go and explore how it feels because you already understand your car. Then you will be mostly using it as a day-to-day car and not going on too many trips that are out of your usual daily routine. Now, when that happens, which means you will most likely be on quite a few roads that are just straightforward, That's when the sound comes in. That means you don't always need to go to track days and all that, just driving on your normal daily road. But if the car sounds good, it is rewarding even on mundane roads, even on slow speeds. You know when you smile when you're following a beautiful car from behind? That's what I'm feeling now. And we have to, I've said this not just once, we have to thank people who buy cars like these. Think of it this way, they are the ones putting in the hard work, sourcing the car, sourcing the parts. Put aside whether they are rich or not. Yes, they are already richer than you, that's a fact, okay? But you don't take away the credit of someone putting in so much work to restore these cars, giving these cars a new lease of life, and bringing them out so that we get to enjoy. We get to enjoy seeing these beautiful cars doing stuff like these on the roads. And you don't need to buy a ticket for it. Think about it. We have to thank them for working so hard in life, for willing to part away with a big chunk of their money to entertain us. Isn't that so? What if everyone was trying to be frugal and be clever, and your entire road ends up with stuffs like Honda Cities and Elantras? Wouldn't that world be a lot more boring? And there comes a Honda City, just as we're saying. Oh, it's trying to roll back. Oh. And that's part of the enjoyment. Isn't that so? Wow, 我的车屁股也要烂了。The funny thing is, modern cars is of course faster, better brakes and all that, but because of our weight, sometimes we can't turn as fast as they do on these really tight roads. I've experienced more than a few times whereby the car just isn't sure where to send power to. This is a 4MATIC Plus system. You know, there are a few times whereby the car got like, ooh, what's going on? See? But of course it helps a little bit that the four-wheel drive system in Mercedes-Benzes are rear bias, but of course they are not as balanced as their counterparts in Bavaria. So okay.
ถนนไม่ค่อยดีนะครับข้างหน้าถนนไม่ค่อยดีนะครับ sorry art sorry
Sorry. So we just finished lunch at that beautiful location where I was literally sitting on ledges overseeing the valley, and the food is so good, the view is magnificent, and it's cheap. 5 bowls of that noodle is only 200 baht, right? And they make wonderful iced coffee, wonderful iced tea, and that's only 60 baht each. And then now our next location along the Mae Hong Son route is 3 hours away of these type of roads, right? It's just constant corners and corners and turns and corners and turns non-stop, but the scenery and these beautiful roads, of course, I mean, I would enjoy myself a little bit more if I were to be in, let's say, an S2000 or an MX5, right? Or first gen BMW Z4. Small cars, basically, not big cars like these. And but nonetheless, one couldn't ask for more, isn't it? It's just so nice. You can really enjoy yourself in an Audi TT as well here. It's okay. Look at the wonderful roads. That's the MG in front. Oh, look at that. These are buffaloes. Oh, so nice. Hello, buffaloes. Oh my god! What? What am I looking at? What? Oh my god. Oh my god.
없습니다.
Look at that. Wow. Oh my god, Thailand. You are crazy place. Alright. We are 3 hours. We were 3 hours from our destination, but now it's down to 1.5 hours. It's been a crazy drive. Roads like that. Now the interesting thing is that at night it's much easier to guess if there are cars coming. And of course these are roads that I'm unfamiliar with. But the fact that I'm able to guess whether there are cars coming is a plus point. You know, there was the argument about paddle shifters, whether they should be on the steering wheel or not. Now I would argue that the indicator stalks and the light stalks should be on the steering wheel. Because when you're driving fast, you want to switch between your high beams. Sometimes when you're turning, it's literally impossible because you're too far away from the light stop. So I guess Ferrari did the right thing by putting all the controls on the steering wheel. Look at how far the light shines. These headlamps are brilliant. Mercedes. Alright, traffic. Done. Another brilliant. I'm gonna stop the video here. Night falls, and we are 1 hour away from our hotel. It's 9 PM now, and I'm glad this car is fitted with those wonderful adaptive headlamps. They automatically switch high beam, low beam, you know, cast a shadow on the other car when they spotted it, and then it's just very, very clever stuff. Lovely. Not all streets have street lamps. This is nearer to a housing area, that's why they have it. I expect later on to be pitch dark again. So I'll put back the headlamps at their usual output later when I don't see any street lamps, and then you can see the differences. Right, this is a rather sharp curve, left and then a right to that. Yep. The roads in Thailand is just wonderful. Wherever we went to, be it towards Hua Hin or Phuket, they make proper roads. This is Mae Hong Son. Oh, lovely.
Sorry.
Driving joy, driving heaven. Hell yeah.哦，原来是这种死的。 咁識喐嘅，有碌水喺度。Okay, there's one thing I want to talk about is the driving culture in Thailand. Now, this D-Max in front of me, he drives faster than the Ford Ranger in front of him. But he knows that my car is faster than his. And whenever there is a long straight, he will try and keep left just in case I want to overtake. And he doesn't keep close to the Ford Ranger because if I want to overtake him, I would have enough room to go in. This is not an observation of an individual driver. This driving habit is observed around the past 3 days in Mae Hong Son here. The people of Thailand, when it comes to driving, their driving ethic is second to none. They always observe what cars are behind them, what's in front, and what's coming. In fact, if they can see that the road ahead is clear, they will put on their signal and slow down and let us overtake. They always do that. And there are other times whereby when you are trying to overtake them and they saw another car coming up which we wouldn't be able to see yet, they actually would indicate to us by putting the right signal and putting their truck almost in the middle of the lane to block us, to let us know that they see a car in front. And when there are no more cars, they will put the left signal for us to overtake. I tell you, this is something that we Malaysians and Singaporeans should come here to learn and know. This is what driving is about, caring for other people around you. It's not about whose car's faster, whatever. You know, the Thai people, they are just kind and they don't have ego. You know, that is something that is I really cherish driving here. And motorcycles, they all keep left. The cars, when they see motorcycles in front, they are careful. Everybody is aware of everybody else. There are no ignorant people here. I just can't help but appreciate their driving ethic. You try and observe the Ford Ranger. Whenever there is a road that he thought I might want to overtake, he will keep left. He will put his car closer to the left instead of just minding his own business and like not caring about this expensive Mercedes-Benz behind him, you know. So they are just really nice people. See, that's Thai people for you. He asked him if he's okay, and the guy said he's fine, and then they go on. Really, this, I can't help but have my full respect on this Thai ethic, you know. It makes me want to learn Thai language. Yeah. Okay guys, we're on our way to the airport. So we're driving from Pai to Chiang Mai, which takes 3 hours and of journey. And it's a Friday morning, and traffic. There are quite some traffic on Mae Hong Son here, and we are running short on time because we have a 3 o'clock flight to catch, and it's now 10:30. We still have 2.5 hours to go. So we will arrive there at 1 sharp, and 1 o'clock is the time where we need to be at the airport to check in and all that. So we need to rush. We're rushing against time here, and the traffic isn't helping. However, in any other country in the world, nobody who doesn't know anyone coming from behind in a fast car would do what the Thais would do, right? They will see, oh, a faster car is coming from behind. Let me help him by checking out whether they can overtake or not. If the road is available, they will put the left indicator signal for us to tell us that they are keeping left for us to take over because they have checked out for us. If there is a car coming from the distance, they know that you couldn't make it, they will put the right signal and place their cars near the middle of the road to prevent you from overtaking. I'm not joking here. Every single person do it here in Mae Hong Son Loop. It's amazing. Alright, so there's one of us in front, the C43. Again, shout out to Mercedes-Benz Thailand. Thank you so much for arranging these brilliant cars for us at Mae Hong Son Loop. The C43, the E53 and the GLC43. Thank you so much. And shout out to the Mae Hong Son's Chamber of Commerce, the director of Chamber of Commerce, Chana Kate or Chana. Sorry, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name not in the way it was intended to be. Thank you so much for hosting us and for showing us around and having lunch with us. And of course, Mr. Puri, the Thai actor, who is an all-round awesome guy, humble. He came to the airport, helping us, arranging the vans and all that. And if you had not known, you wouldn't have thought that he's the Thai actor and the owner of the beautiful Puri Pai Villa, and also an all-round awesome car guy with his 1975 first generation Porsche 911 Turbo, and going all out in his driving group, Ren Drive. You know, the people we met, they're all awesome. Just unbelievable opportunity. And if you're wondering why the video is like sort of cut off half, because my phone on GPS is hanging there and I'm not gonna move it away. Alright, and yeah, it's been a wonderful experience here at Pai. So if you are traveling to Thailand, do add one more place in your itinerary. Okay, Pai, north of Chiang Mai. Now this area is not next to the sea or whatever, but it is an area surrounded by mountain ranges and a valley, fields and all that. So it feels a lot like what you see in Western Europe. You know, those flat plains and then mountains in the horizon. Is just fantastic. Beautiful scenery, wonderful weather, and just great Thai people. Yeah, that's it. I'm definitely coming back here again. I'm thinking to organize another drive every January to come to this region, to Mae Hong Son. Alright, every January we will organize a trip to Mae Hong Son. So I'm not going to call it Evo Enduro. Evo Enduro will be in August. You know, it will be the kind of drive that we do, and we'll see how. Let me think about it. But I'm definitely coming back here because of the great roads. Now, Malaysia has great roads as well, but the difference with Thailand is that every time you arrive at a town, they have a wonderful night market. They have nice scenic places to go. The government actually makes sure that every little township plotted along whatever major road, highways, has some form of potential for tourism. So it's not like in Malaysia, whereby we focus on the few big cities. I think this initiative is really good, and I think it's something that we can learn from them as well. Alright, so yeah, so if you're on a road trip, this place is just magical. Cheers, guys.